Hi, I'm Justin.
And I'm Jen. Welcome to the Door Store Studio.
Today we're going to take you through how to install an exterior door system with a Sidelite. It's pretty similar to installing a single door, but with a few additional steps.
We recommend having at least one other person to help you with a larger door system like this.
Let's get started.
Okay. Now before we even start working with the new door, clean the area around the rough opening, including removing any excess caulk or debris that may have been left behind. How's that looking?
It's actually looking really good.
Good, nice and clean?
Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
Okay. Measure to make sure the rough opening in your wall is 2.5 inches wider and 2 inches taller than the new door, and that the wall is both plumb and square.
The width is looking really good.
Okay, good. I'm gonna grab my level.
And the height is right where we want it.
Awesome. Wall is plumb. Sometimes it helps to have a third set of hands for these heavy door systems. This is Jeff, who's part of our crew. He's here to help.
Ready on 3, Jeff? 1, 2, 3.
Now we'll set it down and start removing any shipping nails, screws, or packaging that can be removed while the door is shut. All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay.
There we go. Thanks for your help, Jeff.
Thanks,
Don't
Jeff.
go too far. We're going to need you later.
If the door needs to be opened to remove a piece, such as this clip at the top of the door, leave it in place for now. This one is made to keep the door square through the installation process, so we're just going to leave it and remove the visible screws. We're all set. Now we'll caulk the bottom of the sill around the perimeter and on the back side of the brick mold around the door. All right.
Next, we're going to caulk the floor of the opening where the sill will sit. We're going to use 3 beads of caulk here to ensure a weatherproof seal around the new system.
All right, all done.
Great. Okay, let's grab our buddy Jeff and set this door into the rough opening. Welcome back, Jeff.
All right, I'm going to guide you guys back while we tip it into place, okay?
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good?
Wonderful.
All right, great. Thanks, Jeff.
Our next steps are inside, so we've rotated our wall around.
We're ready to start shimming the door system in place. If the Sidelite is on the lock side of the door, like this door, place shims behind the frame at the top hinge and tack the door unit into place. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, open this up. To conceal the screw, first remove 1 screw from the hinge and replace it with a 2.5-inch wood screw through the shims and into the rough opening. All right.
You want to hold that shim for me, Jen?
Yep,
Thank you.
I'm ready.
It's in.
Great. When the Sidelite is on the hinge side, the process is a little bit different. Place shims behind the frame directly across from the top hinge and tack the unit into place by pulling back the weather stripping to conceal the screw.
Now that the door is tacked in place, we need to make sure that it's plumb and square.
I'll grab my level.
Great.
There you go.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Let's check it out. Looks perfect.
Nice and plumb?
Nice and plumb.
All right. Close the door and finish shimming the door system. You'll want to insert shims behind each of the 3 hinge locations first, and then shim the corresponding locations on the Sidelite side of the door system. Okay. You'll also need to shim the top of the door. Place shims where the posts between the Sidelite and the door meet the head frame, as well as above the door opening. Once you've placed your shims, check to see that there's an even 1/8 inch margin between the door and the head of the frame, and down the lock side of the door.
Looks great.
Yeah, looking good?
It does.
Okay.
Once everything is in place, carefully open the door and use your 6-foot level to make sure the hinge side frame is still plumb.
Yep, nice and plumb.
Great. And if it isn't, you'll just have to adjust the frame until it is.
Give that to you.
Thank you.
Now you'll remove the center screws from the middle and bottom hinges and replace them with the longer 2.5-inch screws to secure the door system through the shims and into the wall.
It's in.
Great. Remove a second screw from the top hinge and replace with another 2.5-inch screw. Now we'll check to make sure the opposite side of the door is still plumb. You want to grab that 6-foot level?
You bet. Here you go.
All right, thank you.
How's it looking?
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Close the door and check to make sure there's still an even gap between the jamb and the door. How's it look?
Looks good to me.
Okay, good. Then go outside and close the door and make sure there are no gaps in the weather stripping of the door. Now it's time to secure the Sidelite side of the door to the wall. Using a 1/8-inch drill bit, pre-drill a 1/8-inch hole at a 45-degree angle through the center post and into the head. Repeat this at the bottom.
Okay, now that we have our holes drilled, we're going to use a countersink bit to countersink the holes drilled in order to allow the screw heads to sit flush with the frame.
Install one 2.5-inch wood screw into each of the pre-drilled locations.
Swap bits with
Yep.
you. Thank you.
Take that one. Be careful not to over-tighten the screws so you don't crack the jambs.
There you go.
Once the head and sill of the door are held into place, use the 1/8-inch drill bit to pre-drill a hole through the frame on the Sidelite side of the door into each of the 3 shim locations at a 45-degree angle.
Ready?
Yep. Great. Once the holes have been drilled, install one 2.5-inch wood screw at each of the shim locations.
I'm going to switch out
Right.
this bit with the countersink.
Yeah.
We'll countersink these really quick.
Okay. Okay.
Switch it for that first bit.
Yeah.
And we're ready to screw some screws in.
There we go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Now that the door is secured in place and the margins look even around the door, open the door and remove the installation clip at the top.
Okay, next we're going to use fiberglass insulation to insulate around the frame opening.
I'll get some insulation.
Great. Let's get some gloves on now.
Yep.
There we go. Will you tell me to turn me a little chunk for right there, please?
Sure. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Use a utility knife to score the shims and then break each one off so they don't protrude past the door frame.
Great. Now it's time to finish the unit outside. So let's rotate our wall around.
We're almost finished. Caulk between the brick mold and the exterior wall on the hinge side of the door, then do the top and then the lock side of the door, making sure the entire perimeter is caulked. After that, caulk between the brick mold and the frame around the entire perimeter here, too. Lastly, you're going to caulk between the sill and the sill plate and where the frame meets the sill. Then you'll pull the bottom few inches of the weather strip out of the groove and place a small spot of caulk on the sill before replacing the weather strip.
The door is now secure and sealed, and our last step is to add a handle set to the door. And on the inside, a trim of your choice.
Luckily now we don't have to paint it since we got this navy blue Mastercraft steel door that's pre-finished.
So that's how to install an exterior door system with a Sidelite.
If you have more questions, check out our video library, send us an email, or chat with us live, and we'll do what we can to help.
Thanks for joining us in the Door Store studio. We hope we've helped make your door installing experience a little bit easier.
Good work.
Thanks.